is to create it. And today we're talking about a topic on how you can become that attraction agent, where you have that steady flow of leads that come into your business. In a time like this, it's interesting. I see the brokers with really strong referral networks are doing really, really well in the market today because they've done the work to create the future that they wanted by making themselves that attraction agent and attraction broker. So how can you be an attraction broker in this market? What are the things that you need to do to build your market authority so you can have that endless flow of referral business? Because, sometimes it feels like hard work, right? It feels like hard work. You don't know where to turn. You don't know where your next lead is coming from. And it feels like a bit like, if I bring a slide up, it feels like you're trying to, fish in rough waters. It's quite easy when, you sort of got schools of fish and they're throwing the bait in, and again, everything's working, and out of the market that we've been in into this market we're in today, where we've had 5 or 6 rate increases, the borrowing conditions have come down, so we need to do more to maintain the same volumes. So what are we going to do so we can really lead our market, our clients, our referrer partners, and the broader market, so we can lead like a boss? So we can lead a bit like this guy. How can we be that leader that everyone is prepared to follow? How can we build that trust in the market that you are the go-to broker in the industry? If we sort of look at a case study, and someone who I had the pleasure of obviously working under was John Simons. And if you look at John, the strengths, and you pick up things from all different mentors within your life, but I think the thing that I picked up from somebody like John Simons was the power of taking advantage of times in adversity. And if you look at the market now, there is lots of opportunities. Real estate agents, for example, don't have the ability to go and refinance their clients. One of my clients is in the Southern Highlands, and he said, sales have dropped where there was something like 180 sales. They're down to about 25, right? So the market's dropped. You wouldn't want to be an agent in that area because your income is going to be, down quite significantly, right? So that means that every referral listing, every opportunity that they get to sell a property is now gold, where before it wasn't, right? So that's an example of an opportunity it's going to create to do business with referral partners who wouldn't have wanted to know you a while ago, right? So it's the chance to, add value, build trust, really understand their business, and go deeper in the value that you can provide as a mortgage broker. And this is exactly what John Simons did. He was bankrupt. He saw an opportunity. He goes, okay, I've got to pay off my debts. I'm not going to shirk my responsibility. I'm going to pay off my debt. So what am I going to do? I need to create a business. With his last few dollars, he went to the States, studied, the non-bank lending sector over there, and saw an opportunity to obviously come back and create what we now know is Aussie Home Loans. And he doesn't put himself up on a pedestal. He came from working class, but he worked hard, but he built that authority within the market through going out and, being, true to his word and working with integrity to create a business that obviously scaled. And for you, if you want to do the same, then it's available to you, but it's got to be planned. You've got to have that strategy. I know technically there's a lot of great brokers out there, but what they aren't so good at is they don't know how to market themselves and they don't know how to sell. And some people will take offense to that, but when I say sell, they don't know how to truly add value, how to change the way someone thinks so it changes behavior. And this is where people who can really take advantage in this market and of the opportunities that are out there. So whether that be to educate clients on the benefits of refinancing in terms of what that can do for them. Maybe it's around releasing equity when they do that refinance. And there's plenty of opportunities to invest at the moment. If you are educated in property investment, there's opportunities. You look at a market like Perth, where you can still get a property between 400,000 and 500,000 with a 5% rental yield. And the market's been relatively flat. Vacancy rates are less than 1%. So that's just an example of an opportunity out there. If you think outside the square and you educate clients to be able to think outside the square, there's opportunities for them to go out and create wealth and to do more. So what are the areas, similar to if you take that approach like John Simons and everything is possible, what can you do and what is the messages that you can put out there? Because throwing a fly fishing is thing that I've got here. If you say the importance of your communications, it's similar to the fly fishing, which is here, and one of the arts, and I've travelled Canada a lot and spoken to a lot of people about fly fishing. But you look around and you see what's on the shore, and you go, okay, well looks like potentially what the fish are going to be eating. I'll put that into the water and hopefully I'll get something, right? So you've got to understand, the timing and the message that you're putting out there in order to build the trust in the current market, right? So what are those things that are going to get your target market's attention right now? How can you educate them in a broader way so you are that trusted market authority? And then how can you go about having the conversations, right? And what is your strategy for having the conversations? Because this is what sales and marketing is all about. It's right. How am I putting people into the funnel? How am I growing my list? Then how am I educating those people in my list? Then how am I having conversations with those people, which is marketing? How am I having conversations? And then it's around qualifying and actually converting the sale and then bring them on as a client, and then the after service, and how can you then do more with those clients? But it all starts with getting the right message and getting them into your world, right? So it's not about sort of getting yourself out there, it's getting them in there. And what I mean in there is in your CRM. How can you get their name, their phone number, their contact details of those people that you want to lead in this market? So that's really important around that. And then we have to have confidence, right? We have to have that confidence, because what you're really selling when you're selling that message and to become a market authority, it's, and people say to me that sales is a transfer of energy, right? And what you're really doing is you're selling your certainty, right? So how can you sell your certainty in those topics, in those areas? And this is why I love really niching down, is because if you can be an expert and confidently speak on your area of expertise in the market. So let's say it's you want to build trust with accountants, right? So what is the knowledge, what is the information that you want to put out there from an accountant's point of view to show that you're credible, right? So it's going to be your understanding of the markets, right? It's going to be your understanding of the markets. You're going to be understanding some of the problems and challenges of a self-employed client. as well as some of the more complex needs, like in terms of, property investment or understanding more complex lending scenarios, maybe like self-managed super fund lending. So what are the things that you can educate the market and have confidence to really build that certainty? And then once we get the opportunities, how can we make sure that we convert the opportunities? Obviously, leads are like gold at the moment. So if we look at our sales process so we're focusing on the clients that are our hell yes, and once we've got them in, once we've landed them, how can we make sure that we bring them to shore? And how can we make sure that our communication, our qualification, and our sales process is right so we can actually take advantage of those opportunities? And this is the things that are really going to set you apart from being an average broker or a high-performing broker. So we really want to seize the opportunity. So how do we do that? How do we go about seizing the opportunities? What are the things that you can do today to ensure that, hey, we're not just talking about this, that we're actually going to create the future that we want and actually start to have a plan and to make it happen? And that's exactly what we need to do, right? It doesn't happen by accident. Technically you're good. You know your products, you know your credit policy, but we need a sales system, right? So what's your system for getting people in the door, for challenging and educating them, from having conversations with them, to qualifying them, to get them on as a client, and then the post-settlement journey? What is that plan that you've got in your business? Because it's changed. Where our focus was, it's coming in the door. If you haven't changed to focus on your sales system away from your delivery system, your business is naturally going to decline with the market, right? So what is your plan for sales and marketing? And what is your plan to really get out there and network, right? I say that, part of networking is we network to do business, right? I've played a lot of rugby, and it's all around teamwork, right? We need the right players in the right positions for us to be able to do our job and for us to win. It's no different in your business. You need the right team, so that's staff, and you need the right referral partners on your team. So both internal and external. So you need the internal is the people within the banks and that help us actually get the loans approved. But external, it's your actual referral partners, and you need to have a plan on how am I actually going to do that. Most people have something for a sales process to bring one client on board, but they don't have a sales process on how they're going to bring a referral partner on board. And this is something that we often talk about within our programs, and we give the scripts, dialogues, and everything to be able to do that, because it is such an important skill for you to be able to learn. So that comes down to then focusing on your plan in terms of, okay, who am I going to target? Because when you look at your client base, there's going to be some people in this market that can't do, for whatever reason, they can't do what they probably can't afford the money that they've already got, right? Maybe they borrowed when interest rates were low and they were tight. So they can't do something. So there's going to be those people, which we call them the victims, right? But if you look at the people above the line, right, who are those people that do have the opportunity to do something? So who are those people that want to be helped? Who are those people that you can actually guide in the plays? And when you're putting your marketing messages in your education, are we talking to a low-level problem or are we talking to a high-level problem? Because our message needs to really be solving in our coaching group. We call them the champagne problems. What are the champagne problems of the people who can afford to do the things at the market at the moment? Who are if you look at the loans that you've done, what are some of those characteristics of those people who are taking out finance at the moment? And how do you present to them? How do you understand what their needs are, what their goals are at the moment, so you can target your message to attract people like that? So I want you to start to think, and I've got a handout that you can have where you can use this to really position yourself as that market leader. So what can you do right now in this plan? How can you document it, and how can you write down how you can position yourself for your clients at the moment? What can you do to obviously educate and challenge those people? What can you do to have better conversations with them right now? What's the structure that you need in place? For referral partners, what's your plan to attract and build referral partners? So to grow their list, to educate them, and to have conversations with referral partners at the moment. And what about the broader market, those areas that you really want to niche down into? What is the message that you want to be sending? How are we going to bring them in so we can have real conversations, so we can solve their problems and get them on board as clients, and really create that future that you want by becoming that market authority? That's it from me. I'm Ross LeCain, the founder of the $1 Billion Broker. As I said, if you want a copy of this guide so you can really start to create your plan, just type attract below and I'll make sure that you get a copy. Thanks. Until next time, I'll see you soon.